Oh, ooh, I don't know if you guys were able to hear that, but that was actually a really clean clap. We take that. So, today is Wednesday, February, almost to January, earlier, but almost said October. I don't know when it is, but it is in fact February 12th. It is a Wednesday. We are doing another CTW because I'm not going to have time tomorrow morning. It is going to be another early day. It might be the last early Thursday. I don't know. I'd actually have to check the calendar on that. February might just be these are going to be Wednesday nights. We'll see how it is. We'll see how they go. Maybe I could have just done it on Thursday night, but yeah, I got time right now. Let's just go ahead and get it done. Going over my past week. We gotta start with the Super Bowl. So first off, congrats to the Eagles. Congrats to the franchise, to the coaches, the players, the owners, the GM, all of them. Congrats to the fans, whether you're in Philly, born and raised, you're here in Cali, West Philadelphia, born and raised. I wasn't even trying to do a Fresh Prince thing. It just worked out that way. We take that. But anyways, congrats to the Eagles. I have no beef with the Eagles. I had said, like, Championship Sunday, of the four teams remaining, the Eagles were the team I was rooting for the least. But genuinely, like, I don't mind them winning this. I would like to see Washington, because I have a good friend who's a big Washington fan, and I think, like, the Jaden Daniels, a rookie QB, going to the Super Bowl is really cool. I really want to see Buffalo, and like, my dad is a big Chiefs fan, and I think the three-peat would be neat to see. I don't have any issues with them, though. Very much I remember watching that Super Bowl a couple years ago with the last one between the Chiefs and the Eagles. I was so fucking impressed with Jalen Hurts. Like, it was such a fun game to watch. It's like, I'm rooting for the Chiefs here, but I don't want to see Philly lose. Like, I really don't want to see Jalen Hurts lose this game. So I'm very glad he was able to get one. I'm really happy for Saquon. After all the shitty years on the Giants. Like, yes, if he had played that last week, he could have had the record and a ring, and that would have been really cool. But I'm glad he was able to at least get a ring. A.J. Brown, his Super Bowl touchdown celebration was he did the cha-cha slide, he did a slide, and then a slide, and did the crisscross, which is something that Jameis was telling him to do. And so the fact that it happened, like, I saw Jameis react to it. Dude, I love Jameis Winston. I think he is a free agent, and now the DA's not coach of the Saints, maybe Jameis could come back to the Saints, because you could just see, like, some of that press he was doing, like, him making the W, eating the W pin. I love Jameis Winston. This is, like, one of my favorite dudes in the league. Like, I want to see him in the league. I want to see him on my team, because you know what? Even if we're bad, because it's Jameis, you never know what you're going to get. The dude is a box of chocolates. He might throw 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, but he might throw 30 interceptions. I still don't know how the fuck a 30 for 30 season happened. Like, that is insane. I think Lamar threw 4 picks this year. How the fuck did Jameis throw 3? Like, what was that one quote of his? He, like, until I got wasted, like, I couldn't see. I thought Bruce was black for like 5 years. Talking about Bruce Arians. Oh, the dude is comedy gold. I want to see him on the Saints, because at least we'll be fun. I didn't watch a lot of Browns games. And now that Myles Garrett is going to be gone, I might get even less Browns games to have to watch. But whenever Jameis was playing for him and you got to see one of the games or see some of the highlights, like, this is actually fun to watch. And the Saints were not fun to watch this year. I hope we can at least be enjoyable to watch, even if we're bad, even if it's kind of a train wreck. It's at least fun. But getting back to the actual Super Bowl, Eagles dominated. Eagles cooked. Congrats to Barkley, not Saquon, although I already said I mean Charles, because Chuck did a thing where he's like, yeah, this is what I think. I'm a big Eagles fan. Eagles are going to win. It's going to be a blowout. And my dumbass, when I saw that on Instagram, it was like a few hours before the game is when I saw it. I was like, all right, Chuck's taking the Eagles. The three-peat is guaranteed. Go well that aged. That shit aged like milk that has been left out in the fucking Sahara Desert. Oh boy, that went bad quick. And I will take the L on that. I think it's funny. But, what happened? It really felt like the Chiefs said, here is our plan. We're gonna stop Saquon. And they did. And that's literally all they did. They did not stop the Eagles' front four. They did not stop Cooper DeJean. They did not stop Jalen Hurts. They did not stop Devontae Smith. They did not stop A.J. Brown. They just got their asses kicked. The game was 40-22, and it never felt that close. It was what, like 40-6 at one point? Like 33-0 or some shit? It was so disappointing. And I don't just mean from the perspective that the Chiefs didn't win. Because like I said, I genuinely don't have beef with the Eagles winning. I just wanted a good, fun game. And it was just empty. Yeah. So I'm a little disappointed. But, there's something else I did that day. I didn't just watch the Super Bowl. I was playing Thousand Year Door. Right now, as of today, I am at Chapter 7. I am in the big dungeon of Chapter 7. I guess I won't go into spoilers. I feel like I've talked about it. I mean, it's an old game. Like, the remake's been out for about a year. I get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers are live for Thousand Year Door. I'm on the moon. So I'm very close to being done with Thousand Year Door. This is the end of Chapter 7. Like, I just got to the moon. Excuse me, so it'll be this, Chapter 8, and Prince Mush. And I think that's all I have left, because I've already done the pit. I did the pit after Chapter 4. You can do it a lot earlier than that. You can do it before you fight Hooktail. I am not nearly good enough at the game to try to do that shit. But I did do the pit, and I beat Bonetail after Chapter 4, before I started Chapter 5. I did not upgrade my health. I did it with 10 health, and I thought that was really fun. Shit was hard. Shit was difficult, but I did it. After Chapter 5, I did two things. Number one, I did adjust my health finally. I went from 10 to 5. Then I did the second half of the pit again, because you can start at floor 50. If you've got, I don't know if it's if you have to beat the pit to do that, or if you just have to get to floor 50 to be able to do it. But I started from floor 50, did the second half of the pit, and then fought Wacka. Wacka was brutal. I won by luck. That is which grant, I think I was telling Clay about it. I was like, so, there are three things that got me through this fight. Sheer dumb luck, calculated strategic luck, and strategy. Because there were moments where I'm like, I am actively making like good tactical decisions. There are moments where it's because of the setups that I have, I'm getting lucky, but that's literally part of the build, is getting lucky. Things are a lot more likely to miss me because I don't have a lot of health. And part of it is also, yeah, that is sheer dumb luck that Wacka decided not to eat the red thing and get a fuck ton of health back. But it went in my favor, and I beat him. And wow, that was fun. Wow, that was hard. I don't know if I could do that again if I tried, but I don't have to because I already did it. So that leaves Prince Mush as the only remaining super boss. I don't know when I'm going to do that, because I haven't gotten the email from him yet. I did the Trouble for Jolene, which I know you have to do, and I got the email from her, but I didn't get one from Mush. I've heard people say you don't have to do Glitzville again, like you don't have to be number 1 for him to email you. I guess I'm just waiting for it to happen. At first, I had heard that Mush and Wacka were post-game only, but I did Wacka before Chapter 6. And I've heard people say it's like, yeah, like I did mush before chapter 4. So I don't know. I don't know if there's something I'm missing, if the game's just kind of being weird about it. Maybe I'll wait till after the moon. You guys, maybe I'll get an email and he's like, yeah, Gonzalez, let's have our exhibition match. Maybe there is some extra shit I gotta do. I'll see. But Thousand Year Door has been so fun. It's going over the chapters so far. Petalburg, it's, I guess, like, epilogue. It's a good epilogue. Prologue is a good introduction to the game. Petalburg is kind of a bit more of that. You do get some of that Thousand Year Door, like, classic goofiness. Like, I know I brought this up before. I fucking love the quiz show. I think Hooktail is very fun. I think the castle is a fun dungeon. Bogley Woods, it's not awful, but I don't like it either. I think one of the big problems I have with Bogley Woods, okay, there's a few. One, I don't love Flurry. I don't dislike her per se, but she's all right. There's not an antagonist for there's not a new antagonist to really kind of sink your teeth into, or like, oh man, like we're really building up Hooktail and how personal she is against Coops and all the Petalburg, or man, I now fucking hate this Dupless guy. Dupless is such a fun character. Chapter 2, it's just Crump, and I like Crump. I like Crump a lot. But like, okay, well, we saw him earlier, and then we see him again. We're going to fight him on the moon again. It does not really have a unique antagonist. It has the, like, Dragonfly dudes, but they're just kind of there. Like, you don't even really fight them as Mario. It's eh. And yeah, the whole, like, Pikmin mechanic, I'm not crazy about. It's not, like, god-awful, but I wouldn't say it's fun either. Glitzville, I think what I had said when I was going over these the other day is, I think if you had trimmed it from 20 fights to 15, it's like, alright, 5 fights, 5 fights, 5 fights, the pacing would feel a little better. I was starting to, I don't know if I want to say bored, I don't think that's the right word, but I was starting to get a little bit, okay, can we move this along though, you know? Like, I really enjoy Glitzville. I love Grubba. I love Grubba. I love Rockhawk. I love that there's a random fight with Bowser, and it was like, let me lock in real quick and kick Bowser's ass. It gives me Gonzo. Gonzo is my favorite party member from this game. I love using this, like, aggro bastard. Really like this chapter. Twilight Town is probably my favorite chapter in the game, which I know it was not when I first played Thousand Year Door. I love the aesthetic. I love the party member. I love the antagonist. I love, like, the setup for what's going on. It's just a really neat chapter. By this point, I had the bump badge from the pit, so I didn't, like, fight anything in chapter 5. There's like 2, maybe 3 scripted fights outside of Cortez, and it just trounced him. Cortez had 1 turn, and he didn't do, I think, like, I tattled him as Goombella, and then he killed Goombella because she was at 1 health, because I didn't heal after the pit, because, like, hey, my partners are in peril, they're gonna do a shit ton of damage. So Gonzo, every turn, was doing 20 damage to Cortez, which is Cortez's health. So like, oh, well, this phase is gone. Time for the next one. Well, this one's gone. Time for the next one. Oh, it was fucking hilarious. And then chapter 6 is the train. The train's fine. Like, it feels really short. And, like, with Chapter 5, like, I'm blitzing through it because I don't have to deal with encounters, but it still felt like there was some stuff going on with a pretty lengthy dungeon, and I actually kind of liked that. Chapter 6, just kind of hanging out for a bit, doing, like, little goofy shit, and it's fun. I do enjoy the train. I remember not liking Pennington when I first played the game. I'm like, oh, no, he's funny. I do like Pennington. But the dungeon feels so short. And again, I'm blitzing through because I don't have to fight anything. But Cortez's Cavern, I don't know what it's actually called. If it is called Cortez's Cavern, or just clap for me, I guess. But like I said, it actually felt like, oh, this is a dungeon. Like I actually have to like go do some shit, solve some puzzles. It felt like I kind of blinked and I was halfway through this one, and then I blinked again and it was done. I'm like, I'm already on Smorg. Okay. And also, like, you don't get a party member here. You don't really have an antagonist. You just have a monster that shows up. But I do have to shout out this one bit with Dupless. When the Shadow Siren, the three shadows, when the Shadow Sirens take the fake crystal star and Beldam and Marianne, what is it, Marilyn or Marianne? I don't remember now. I'm going to say Maryland. I'm going to lock it in. I might be wrong. But when the two Shadow Sirens, like, disappear into the ground, and Dupless can't do that, and so he runs toward the window, and you then see there's already a hole in the window, because that's how he got it in the first place. That got a good laugh out of me. Like, it's a very funny chapter. It just felt so short. Like, when I got to Poshley Heights, I was like, wait, I don't remember anything else happening in the chapter. But surely this can't be it, right? This was like a short jaunt rather than a whole ass chapter. And chapter 7, before you go to the moon, it kind of sucks. Like, it's just a lot of backtracking, and from what I remember, like, these fast travel points under Rogueport weren't here, which made it really ass in the original game. Here, it's a lot less so, but it's still not... It still just feels like padding, doing, like, trying to find General White. Excuse me, we'll see how the moon is, because I don't remember it super well. I might think it's super fun, I might think it kind of sucks. I'll kick Crump's ass again at the end. But I guess if I'm ranking every chapter so far, I'm not gonna try to rank chapter 7 because it's ongoing. 4 is at the top, 2 is at the bottom. I feel like I have to still put Glitzville ahead of Petalburg. Do I put Glitzville ahead of Keyhall Key? Yeah, I'm gonna put chapter 5 on top of that because I really like Bobbery and I really like his story. It has Flavio. I fucking love Flavio. This dude is so funny. So I'd probably go 4, 5, 3, 1, 6, and then 2. I think I would put... Like, that feels low for 6, because I'm not disliking it. I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's as good as Chapter 1. And I would put Chapter 1 definitely below, like, my beloved Glitzville. And then even my beloved Glitzville, like, it's going below 5, and then even that's going below 4 on this run. And we'll see where Chapter 7 is, we'll see where Chapter 8 is. So that's talking about Thousand Year Door. I love this game. It's so good. So I started trying a new candy. It's called Circus Peanuts. They're like marshmallows that are shaped like peanuts. I have a friend who really likes them, and I was like, you know what? Let me give these a shot. Worst case scenario, I try a new candy and I don't like it. Best case scenario, I try a new candy and it's great. It's fine. I'm not crazy about the texture, like, because they're marshmallows, so I'm expecting, like, you throw it in, it just, like, melts in your mouth, it's super soft. It's kind of tough, and that might be because I threw them in the fridge, because I got a bunch of groceries and just put them all in the fridge. That might be why. I might have fucked up the texture, because I love chilled chocolate. Like, possibly my favorite candy are like almond M&Ms that have been in the fridge. I don't know what it is. It just makes it 10 times better. And maybe that's why I kind of made it suck. My bad. But I do like the flavor. You know, like, she had said it's a very kind of banana-esque flavor. I'm like, yeah, I can see it. It's not quite like eating banana pudding, but it makes me feel like I'm kind of eating banana pudding, just with a weird texture. And I think that's kind of neat. So I tried those. So, March 22nd. February 22nd. I don't know how time works anymore. It's in about 2 weeks. No. Valentine's Day is the 14th, so that's next week. Sorry. Because last weekend, it was 2 weeks away. That's why I'm thinking in 2 weeks. I really don't know how time works anymore. Let me drink some water real quick. Maybe this will get my time. I don't know what the fuck I was about to try to say. Next week, Saturday, almost said March again, is February 2/2. I'm very excited for that day. Number one, I am planning a trip to Universal with some friends of mine. And I've been to Universal a few times, but now I get to go to the Super Nintendo World, and I'm really excited to check it out. So, my plan is in the morning, like late morning, early afternoon. Actually, I don't know what time they open. Because I think we're going to try to get the early pass for Nintendo World, which I think opens at 9, and the park opens at 10 normally. So, in the morning to the afternoon, gonna do that. And then at night, apparently, because I was just I called my second family earlier today. I think I brought them up before. This is a family I have known since I was like 5 or 6. Their sons are my brothers. I love them. And my younger brother is going to be having his 30th birthday party on that day. And, Mom was telling me about that, and I'm like, okay, I'm really excited. I would love to go. Which plan am I gonna have to cancel? Oh, this is at, like, midnight? Oh, shit, yeah, like, I can go do this, hang out with my law school family, and then I can do this, and then hang out with my other family. This sounds amazing. I am very much looking forward to that. That sounds amazing. Now I just said the word amazing twice in like 2 sentences, not including me just saying it there. Whoops. I guess speaking of parties, so last weekend, this was the night before the Super Bowl, I was hanging out with some friends, and I spent the night over there because I watched the Super Bowl at their house, and they brought me to a housewarming party / Lunar New Year party. And I got to meet like a lot of their friends, like some of their church friends, and I just had a really nice time. I'll be honest. I'm a pretty shy person. Like, I'm the kind of person that's like, I'm here at a party where everyone seems to know each other. I'm kind of just going to be sitting, not going to be talking a whole lot. But once you get me going, you are not going to get me to stop. And I just had a really nice time, like, just talking to people, getting to know people, talking about the Super Bowl, talking about, like, the Lakers and the Luka trade, and just, like, work, shows. People are super into Pokemon cards and all the collecting and shit. I'm like, these are my people in all kinds of different ways. This is nice. And one of the hosts like cooked everything. Like they had some things for Chick-fil-A, like from the kids and for drinks, and we obviously didn't cook those. But like noodles, veggies, like this like pork belly. It was so good. It's like I wanted to take leftovers. I'm like, I don't want to ask. I feel like that's almost kind of rude because like I'm here as like we're all here as your guests, but I'm also here as their guests. I don't want to ask that question. I'm not going to try to put it on anybody, but it was good. It was like, this is the best thing I have had since I've been here in California. Thank you so much. It was a really good time. And then I went to church the next day. I was like, this was a really nice service. I appreciated that a lot. So, I was trying to, like, what the fuck does that that's not an L, that's a T, the state of plays. I put a question marks and, like, all right, I'll make a note of that, because I wrote these notes this morning, like, question mark there. Maybe there'll be something I really want to talk about. Kingdom Hearts, and there was no Kingdom Hearts to talk about. Some of the stuff seemed kind of neat. Like, there was this one thing where it was like, well, like the Holy Grail, and you can get your wish granted. I'm like, okay, this sounds like Fate, but this doesn't look like Fate. That almost kind of looks like you're fighting her. Like, what the fuck? Is this a Fate game? Is this Fate inspired? I might be interested in this now. I don't know. I don't remember a lot of what... I know they showed the Puppet Born DLC, which I didn't finish. It was a game that I dropped because I just kind of got to a point where I'm like, I know the game I'm playing. It's just not for me, but I think the game is really cool. But it seemed like they had teased like a Wizard of Oz sequel or DLC, and I really wanted to play that. And then from looking at the trailer, I don't know. Like, I had just ended my lunch break. It was like I'm getting back to work, and I'm kind of watching this a little bit on the side. So maybe there was some Wizard of Oz shit I just didn't catch. Like, I don't know. Like, okay, so we're still playing as Timothy Chalamet. That's not Dorothy. I don't know. Am I looking at a Tin Man, or am I just looking at more like puppet shit? I don't know. Where's Wizard of Oz Souls? Like, I might actually play that. Like, that seems neat. I like the Wizard of Oz. Where's Alice Souls? That actually just might be McGee's Alice, because I think that's an action game. I don't think it's a Souls-like. I think that's a lot older than Dark Souls. I could be totally wrong. I'm not 100% sure on the dates. But it was something that definitely caught my attention. Split Fiction, that's what it's called. That actually looks super neat. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but it looks neat. I'm definitely interested in it for sure. That's pretty much it. It is Valentine's Day in a couple days, so I'll say this. If you are someone who has a significant other, I hope you and your significant other have a great and wonderful Valentine's Day. I hope you make each other feel loved. You make each other smile. You make each other laugh. And you just have the best damn time. If you don't have a significant other for Valentine's Day, I hope that doesn't get you down too bad. You're worthy of love. You deserve to be loved. And even if you don't have someone to share it with, that doesn't necessarily mean you're alone. Because you get to be with you. And I really, truly, sincerely hope that you find things about yourself to love. Because coming from personal experience, that's not always easy. But when you get to that point, and you really do find that self-love, there's kind of few things that can top it. So, have a good Wednesday night, Thursday morning, whenever you're watching this. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy March 22nd when it comes around, etc., etc. Take care. I guess heart for Valentine's Day, not for Kingdom Hearts, because that didn't happen. Oh! That reminds me! So Pokemon is doing a thing now where it's like if you clear a Pokedex and you put all the Pokemon from that Dex in Pokemon Home, you get a shiny mythical. And they said it a few weeks ago, but they just did another one where I think you get a shiny Meltan if you do the Let's Go games, and you get a shiny Keldeo for Swish. That's pretty neat. And there's that part of my brain that goes, Keldeo has never had an official shiny before. As far as I'm aware, Victini has never had an official shiny before. And Victini's is my favorite mythical. I love Victini. I just think this Pokemon is cool as hell. And I really like what shiny Victini looks like. Is by any chance, is that going to be a thing in Legends Z? I mean, that's Kalos. This is Unova. But I mean, there's already the Pokeball Magearna in Pokemon Home. I mean, I guess it could be like Volcanion or Hoopa. Hoopa strong after all. I just want my shiny Victini. Like, please, let me have this. I mean, you put Meloetta as a random, like, yeah, you can get this mythical in the, I almost said the Crown Tundra, that was in the Switch. Indigo Disc, thank you. In the, Scarlet and Violet DLC. I could not remember the name of the actual base game, holy shit. So maybe Victini will be gettable in Legend Z some way for some reason. Maybe your reward in Pokemon Home could be a shiny one. I hope so. Okay, there we go. Heart for Valentine's Day, not for Kingdom Hearts. Take care.